My name is welkingvue. I'm gonna show you an easy way to connect wires. In my opinion, this is an easy way to connect wires. Very easy. I'm gonna be using crimp cap connector. Here's a close-up look at the crimp cap connector. These are 1210 gauge crimp cap. The smaller one here are 1614 gauge. If you got smaller crimp cap connector, you're gonna need smaller wires. So let's say these are 1614 gauge, so you wanna use 1614 gauge wire on these crimp cap. These are 1210 gauge crimp cap, so you wanna use either on 12 gauge wire or 10 gauge wire. I got 14 gauge wire right here, so I'm gonna use the 14 gauge wire on the 1614 gauge crimp cap. If the wire is too big, it's not gonna fit in the small crimp cap. But if the wire is too small, when you crimp it, the wire could fall out. This is a reason why you wanna make sure the size of the wire match the size of the crimp cap. First, I'm gonna cut this wire into two pieces. Now I'm gonna strip the wires. This is how I'm stripping it. I'm gonna twist the wire. You wanna twist it. There's a lot of little copper wires. Twist them together. And then I got two wires right here. It's a good idea to try to twist these two together. And then here's the crimp cap. I'm gonna just put it in. It goes in better if you, while you're pushing it in, you turn the cap, or turn both the cap and the wires. It's in right now, and then this is a wire. This is a crimping tool. If you don't have this, if you don't got this, you could use this cheap one. There is color coded. The red is for 22 18 gauge wire, blue is for 16 14 gauge wire, and yellow is for 12 10 gauge wire. These are 14 gauge wire, and the cap is for 16 to 14 gauge wire. So I'm gonna put it where the blue is at, the middle one. I'm gonna crimp it right here. I made these I use it for this. You get better grip and it doesn't hurt your hand when you squeeze the handle. This is how you use crimp cap connector to connect wires together. it is on it very tight. If for some reason you want to connect 3 wires together, you could do that with the crimp cap. I'm gonna cut this right here. I'm gonna cut another piece of wire. And so I got 3 wires right now. 3 wires. I'm gonna strip them. If for some reason you need to connect 3 wires together, you could do it this way with the crimp cap. I'm gonna just twist all the wires. Since I got 3 wires right now, I got 3 wires together, they're not gonna fit in the 16-14 gauge crimp cap. So I'm gonna use the bigger crimp cap connector. These are the 12-10 gauge. I'm gonna put all these 3 wires into the 12-10 gauge crimp cap. And I'm gonna just twist. If you twist, they go in better. Once they are all the way in, I could use this, but this time I'll use this crimping tool instead. This one's also color coded too. Red is for 22 18 gauge wire, 22 18 gauge wire. Blue is for 16 14 gauge wire, and yellow is for 12 10 gauge. And these are the 12 10 gauge crimp caps, so I'm gonna put it where the yellow is at. The yellow is the third one back. For this crimping tool, I'm gonna crimp it on this side, cause it's smaller right here. The crimp is smaller. It's bigger here, so it's not gonna be as good as if I crimp it on this side. This is how it look like. All 3 wires are crimped together. They're on it tight. Here's what I was trying to explain earlier. I have a flashlight here now so you could see this better. This ratchet crimping tool have 2 crimp. It's double crimp. One on this side, the other on this side. If I crimp it on this side, the opening here is bigger, so this is where the yellow is at. Red, blue, yellow. If I crimp it here on this side, if I crimp the connector right here, the opening is bigger, so the crimp's not gonna be as tight. That's the reason why I crimp it on this side. When you close it all the way down, the opening is smaller, so the crimp is gonna be tighter. So I use this side of the crimp to crimp the connector. If you're watching this because you want to know how to connect wires, then I hope after watching it, you're able to gain some knowledge on connecting wires.